Frank Warren. Frank, what a night, 90,000 fans, and we've potentially seen the end of a glittering career of Tyson Fury.
It was a brilliant night, a historic night for British boxing. I knew the fans had come out for him, and they certainly did. And you felt the love when he, in his ring walk, coming into that arena. I've never seen anything like that. And it was a fantastic performance. It was a really, top quality, complete job that he did. From round one, working behind that judge, gradually dismantling Dillian Whyte. Took all the fight out of him and finished it in such style with a phenomenal punch.
Frank, what did you make of Dillian coming out as a southpaw?
That's what obviously the tactics he was looking at. Look, he was never going to outbox Tyson, and that's a fact of life. I never felt he could do that. So he had to try and take Tyson out of his stride, and the only way he could do that was to get inside. And every time he got inside, he was doing what he was trying to do. He roughed him up, take Tyson out of his stride, and it just didn't happen. Tyson absorbed it all, and he's just too smart for all these guys.
That uppercut to finish it, Frank. What a shot!
He can't punch. Everybody keeps telling me Tyson Fury can't punch. Go and ask Dillian that, and also go and ask Deontay Wilder whether he can punch.
Frank, two more, Frank. He's had a glittering career. Do you believe this is the end for Tyson?
Look, if it's the end, it's the end. That's his choice. He's the guy getting in the ring. If that's how he feels, that's how he feels, and I support him wholeheartedly.
Do you think the only fight that could tempt him back would be the winner of Usyk AJ2 for undisputed?
He said he's retired. He's retired. I mean, how are you going to? It's up to him what he wants.
Frank, first off, congratulations on a historic night. It's the biggest fight in British boxing history. Tyson Fury. Is this almost a bit of a sad moment for you, because we've got a fighter here who looks like he's getting better all the time, and you've mentioned he's probably the best you've worked with. Is it a bit bittersweet now that he's potentially leaving the sport at absolutely peak of his powers?
He is at the peak of his talent, there's no doubt about it, and I'm quite sure he can go on. But if your head's not right, what I mean by that, if your heart or your head is not in it, then it's dangerous, and he shouldn't be doing it, as I said at the press conference. And that's going to be his choice. Who knows what's going to happen? But if that's how he feels, that's how he feels, and we all support him.
Without doubt, in your mind, is he the best heavyweight of his generation? I mean, he's got everything. He moves like a welterweight. I've never seen anything like it. Talk to me.
By far, he's the best heavyweight of his generation. By far.
We saw Tyson say that, look, he will retire, but he's not ruling out exhibition and stuff like that. The way he spoke about you up there seems that, he'll want to keep working with you. You brought him back from what was a very dark time in his life. We saw Francis Ngannou up there on the ESPN stream. If Tyson said, look, professional boxing, I'm done, but I want Frank Warren involved with the Ngannou fight and a cross-platform thing, would you continue to work away from
work with Tyson? Tyson's the best. It's the best time I've had. It's been brilliant working with him. It's a joy to work with him. He gets it. He understands it. He's smart, and he can fight, which helps.
You saw that we had 94,000 there tonight. I know, you've had a few questions about the retirement already, but the winner of Joshua Usyk is, one of the biggest fights of all time. There will be persuasion there, and he's speaking now. We know that Tyson, will change his mind. And John says, look, I don't think he's going to retire, but look, he's the A side. You would get to promote that fight. You must really. I know you say, look, I don't mind if he goes now. He's had a good innings, but you must really want that fight.
No, I mean, I'd like to see him prove. Well, look, he's better than he's the better fighter out of all of them. To prove my point, so that everybody, there was no doubt, I would like to see it. But the facts of the matter, he has nothing to prove to anybody. Tyson Fury is the heavyweight of his generation. He beat Klitschko, who was the best of his generation. Done a job on him, boxed his head off, and he then went to the States, again in the other guy's backyard, and done a job on Deontay Wilder. Absolutely, won the free fights, really, got robbed. And Deontay Wilder was undefeated for, 6 years? Hardest punching fighter statistically, and also was a fact he was the hardest hitter out there. And Tyson's got nothing to prove to anybody.
Frank, a record 94,000 in there tonight. Yeah. Is there any indication on the pay-per-views for this? Is it all on track?
We won't know for a couple of days yet, at least a couple of days.
And we saw